Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of y'all, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Listen, you see the title. So to you golden fellas or MLS men, most of you listening are part of the golden sphere. I mean, there's golden people, as Mr. Cannon would describe us, and then there are people in the golden sphere. And if I don't count to be a part of it, or if I do, I still want to contribute that which can help to build your goal, which is a community in which you're safe from being blamed for things you didn't do, being negatively stereotyped, at least in that location, and in which the safety is inherited by your kids. And even by others' children that are not born yet. That's noble. I do believe that it's nice when everybody can have a place like that in which where if they're going to be blamed for anything, it's going to be something that at the very least the accusers really do objectively think they did, at the very least. But you know, nobody's never talked about negatively, but to have a place where you are not going to be blamed for things you didn't do and negatively stereotyped based on things you had no control over, it's fine. I think anybody should have that. Hell, I believe Western Europeans should have a place like that. It's just that that place is called Western Europe. It already exists. For us, it will probably have to be places like Cabo Verde. Anyway, let me continue on. Let me explain something. The advice I have to give is going to be, well, I recorded this yesterday, and it was before Carl Williams went live. And shout out to Mr. Williams, Mr. Cannon, Miss Multiracial Movement, and Exoticals United. Shout out to y'all. I figured I had to re-record this and make it a bit more relevant to that live stream. Now, I was knocked the uck out. I knew about the live stream before, but in my time, that was well past midnight, and I had to be up early in the morning. Not only for the morning prayer, but then also to get ready for work, and I wasn't going to have time to even take a nap between the two, so I had to go ahead and get them Z's. And as I got up and I said the morning prayer, afterwards, while doing everything, eating, showering, I was listening to the live stream at a high playback speed for Mr. Williams, and there was a particular question that was posed, and I'm going to help answer that. And gentlemen, I'm going to help you answer that. Those of you that are likely to ever get this video and listen, I'm going to help you answer that. If you are not an MLS man, this can also help you out too when women ask you, well, what do your kind of men want? Whether you are 200% black and ain't nothing light-skinned or thin-featured about you, and women ask you, well, what do brothers want? Or whether you are, as a matter of fact, even if you're a Western European wasp, living in the Western European diaspora, and a Western white woman asks you, well, what do men want? I'm going to help y'all answer this question. But it was sparked by the live stream of Carl Williams. And for future reference, Mr. Williams, if your live streams are within a decent time in my time zone, I'll gladly jump on. And I'll go on and I'll actually go on the stream, and I will wait until asked to speak, and I won't interrupt others unless I just couldn't hear them, or if I have to just log off for a second and jump back on. It's like an emergency or something. Other than that, I will fuck the shuck up and listen and talk in turn and contribute substance as best I can. But anyway, that being said, the question was, you know, what do golden men want? I mean, do y'all want marriage? Not. I'm going to say this. And gentlemen, this is actually good for women to understand. I'm answering the question for women, and I'm also giving you a way to answer the question articulately and fairly. What men want really does vary individually. That is very true. We men are individuals even when it comes to women. Women may be such when it comes to men, but Western women are not. Let's not kid ourselves. Western women think with a hive mind, and they don't individually pick their own men for the most part. Starts in middle school and it goes on into I don't know when, probably until the wall. When their fertility and their looks decline and they get less attention from men is when this might stop. But for the most part, no, they don't. Notice, I'm not saying women, I'm saying most Western women. And I'm not even saying this with hatred, it's socialization. But many are more subject to the influences of their friends than what they would be willing to admit, and more so than what even they're aware. Many women are going to say that's not true because they're not aware of that. Until they start thinking about it, they're not aware. When they first hear this, they think, it's not me. Everybody wants to think they're more mature than that. Not everybody is. But the fact is, that's one of our major differences. So, ladies and gentlemen, understand that it is very unfair to sit up and just throw three things out and say, well, that's what it is. But there is something that men do want across the board. There are those who know they want it and those who don't. But ladies cannot fail if they are cognizant of this. Maybe something else will cause a relationship or marriage to not work. But being cognizant of this will guarantee that this is not the reason. What is it that men want? Equality to other men or a higher status than other men? I mean, in the same woman's eyes. That's what I mean. What do men want? Well, we want to either be that dude in your eyes, or we want to, at least, we want to be as good as the best guy in your eyes before us. That's what we want. We want equality. We want fair treatment and consistency. This is what I was getting at yesterday. When I said, don't turn around and try to be a born-again virgin. That ain't gonna work. Sorry, but it ain't. Look, I'm a Muslim that doesn't believe in fornication. I'm telling you that ain't gonna work. It wouldn't work with me. If you decide you want to be that, then either we just don't discuss the topic of sex before marriage. We're just not going to discuss it. Or I'm going to be the one to lay down the rules that we ain't going to do it. You don't come to me and tell me that I'm going to be the first guy that doesn't get to tap that before marriage. Not that I would try, because of what I believe. But you don't come to me and say you don't get to. You did that to somebody else and you're going to tell me I can't? We're done talking just because of that. Because of the inequality of it. I am no less than the best man that came before me, especially if we're going to be committed and tie any kind of knots. Now, gentlemen, when they ask, you can say, of course, all men can't want the same things. We're actually individuals when it comes to this, but there is something that we do want across the board. We want your consistency, or you make exceptions in our favor, not to our disfavor. Don't treat us any worse than the best treatment you gave to anybody that came before us. That is very important. Now, there are men who never thought of it this way before, but it's there, and there are men who are aware of this. More and more men are becoming aware of this because of the red pill and the manosphere, the white one and the black one. So what I'm saying to you gentlemen is to help you articulate this particular point, because this one does not change very much individually. What does change individually is how aware a man is and how conscious he is of this part of himself. That's what changes. The fact that it's there is pretty much across the board. That's it. That's not all the advice, but that's it about that point. Gentlemen, articulate that. When they ask you, well, you let them know, okay, well, we really are individual in terms of what we want, but this is one thing that we want across the board. Do not ever ask one of us for any more than you asked from any other man, in exchange for less from you than what you've ever given to any other man. So whatever the best deal is that you ever offered to any other man before us, we better not find out you failed to offer that to us. You offer us the same or better, preferably better, if you want a commitment. Because if not, then it's war. And this is going to be something that it may strike women the wrong way. They might think I mean some kind of harm that I don't mean when I say this. But notice, I'm not speaking against the women. I'm simply saying don't screw that part up. A lot of women may balk. They may think what I'm saying is hostile to them, even though what I'm saying is not with any hostility. If a woman thinks that what I just said is meant with hostility towards her, she's an enemy of men, period. Ladies, if you hear a lady saying something about what I'm saying right now, like I'm hostile, even though all I said was be fair to the men, or make exceptions for that man that are in his favor, but not to his disfavor. I.e., well, you know, I've never stood a man up on a date before, but I'm gonna stand this guy up. And you know, that's what all I'm saying. Don't do that. If a woman finds issues with this, ladies, if you know a lady that finds issues with what I just said, That's an enemy of men. She's going to bring that gender war in here because what she wants to be able to do is sit up here and just mistreat some guys arbitrarily. I'm not talking about because he was abusive or because of something bad he did. That's just returning the same treatment. I'm talking about just arbitrarily, you're going to treat this guy, a little less because you just don't like him as much as you like some guy in your past for whom you did all these things and got so little in return and it didn't work out. Excuse me, no. You don't get to just turn around and make all of a sudden smarter decisions. Unless, of course, he's making equally smart decisions and investing in you the same way. Treating him better because he treated you better is fine. Treating him worse because he treats you worse is fine. But just arbitrarily starting off, I'm not going to make the same effort with him, but I used to chase this one guy down. Let him find out about that. Gentlemen, if you find out that a woman did all this stuff for someone else, but you got to climb walls to get to her, drop her right then and there. That's it. I would tell my own daughters this. Understand that if I had a sister doing this, I would tell her the same thing. And if I found out that she was treating a guy like worse than she had treated some other fella before and it didn't work out with the other fella, and this other dude he hasn't been treating her as badly, it's kind of arbitrary, that sort of thing. She's late, to go meet him. She's not on time to meet him and just sort of not really interested, but she wants all this commitment from him. I would go to him and her and say, excuse me, sis, I love you. So what I'm doing is going to help you in the long run. But if you buck on me now, I'm going to knock you down. Sir, there's another man before you for whom she used to go and buy gifts. She would show up early to be with him. She's sitting up saying, she's sitting up saying that she would not buy you gifts because she wouldn't spend money on you because you a man, and she gonna make you wait, and she's pretty much saying certain things she gonna do just to be difficult for you because you would do. But there's a guy before you that she used to do all this stuff for, and I don't give a rat's behind what reason she's gonna give, because I know that you're not treating her the same way that she's treating you. You're treating her better. I don't know why you still with her, and you sis need to go and get some help. So I would actually, because it's fair. And frankly, if my son was mistreating a lady, I would get on his behind too, but that's already been established. Last piece of advice, gentlemen. If all you want to do is look out for your interest, and this last piece is tied to the first piece. If all you're trying to do is look out for your interest and you're not trying to take advantage of ladies, but let's say, for instance, because of the cultural and marriage rules, if you find that you simply looking out for your interest and not putting yourself in a position of vulnerability that these ladies don't think they should ever put themselves in, is enough to make her angry with you and argue with you, i.e., if she has more money, it's okay to sign a prenup, but if you have more money, how dare you ask, that type of thing. If you detect that sort of imbalance, gentlemen, even in the golden sphere, if you detect that from a woman, she can say, well, I'm willing to submit, but you saying this that's in your interest and not even against mine is incel talk or it's not manly. I'm telling you, that's an enemy. And I do have somebody in particular in mind when I'm telling you this. And yes, I plan on calling her name next week. It's not because I hate her, but it's because this is not, even when she says, I'm actually willing to submit under certain conditions, but this kind of talk is just, and if the lady's wondering who she is, it's the one that got on me because I said that it's okay for men to not want to get married in a Western legal context. Just that she found a problem with. That means she wants you in a position of vulnerability she would not be willing to be in. That's the other thing, gentlemen. Those of you in the manosphere specifically, keep a lookout. Because I don't want to do your thinking for you, but I do want you to know that there's snakes in the grass. That is important. Keep a lookout for them. Because they're going to do a very serious disservice to you and even to those who don't mean us any harm, like Multiracial Movement and Exoticals United. Part of that advice also means, though, to be fair, that we have to differentiate in between the ones of them who don't mean any harm, but sometimes simply forget about men's interest, such as, like Multiracial Movement and Exoticals United. There are times they forget about men's interest. What's in it for us? That's forgetfulness. That's not malice. And we do have to be mindful. As part of the advice I just said, we do have to be mindful of the difference between the ones that forget at times, and you can remind them. And hell, they even ask, well, what's in it for men? What do you want? And then the ones that just outright, forget what you want. This what we want. This what we need. And if you're not willing to roll this dice and put yourself in this position of vulnerability to us and our caprice, and then yes, small ding-a-ling energy and this incel talk, and even my own brother would have a problem with that. Yeah, keep in mind the distinction between the two. That's the gist of my advice. I hope it helps. Thank you for listening. Black heart, black mind, black out. And now you know why I say black and golden, heterosexual non-select male power, and black and golden patriarchy until extinction or judgment day.